Good afternoon, and welcome to M.M.E. I'm your host, Blind Prime, and for today, I have for you Transformers Legacy United animated Optimus Prime in their vehicle mode. Today, we're going to talk about the vehicle mode and discuss its pros and its cons, and give you kind of my overall thoughts of the entire figure as a whole at the end of the video. So, stay tuned to the end, and we'll talk about it. Now, first off, getting into this thing immediately, I want to talk about what happened with weapon hiding. They were doing quite well with it, and then one day it's like the Transformers engineers were just, screw it, we're done with it. There were times where these weapons could be easily stashed inside of the vehicle modes, and even become parts of the vehicle modes, and we see that in minifigures, but not in this one. In this one, they created this giant axe, but then they didn't give us any way to store it on the figure except awkwardly. Look, this axe has got these two siege pegs on them. There's one at the top and then one midway down. And it would be really cool if this axe right here had these two siege ports just slightly further apart. Because when you plug in one of those siege ports into, say, this place here, you can't plug the other siege port in. It's just not long enough. And I don't know why they didn't do that. I seriously, these are the little things that annoy me when it comes to Transformers. Is you got this stuff all lined up, and then you don't follow through. It's like you've got these two siege pegs that are directly across, siege ports directly across from one another, and then you can plug the weapon into one of them, but the other siege peg does not fit into that. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit at all, and it's just so close. It's literally like if they had just. It pisses me off because if they just taken this siege peg right here at the very bottom and they had moved it down the width of the siege peg, that's how much. If they had just put it slightly down, just a little bit down, 5 millimeters further down, it would have worked perfectly. It would have been a really cool way to lock the transformation in the rear, an extra strong lock-in for the transformation, because it would have gone from one port to the other port like a little bridge across the way. They could have done that, and I don't know why they didn't do that. And that is immediately taking some points off of this vehicle mode, because seriously, what the hell were you thinking? Why did you give us so many siege pegs on this axe if they're not going to line up with the siege ports in the vehicle mode? It's asinine. That's what it is. It's straight up asinine that they even did that. So that is my first kind of gripe about the vehicle mode, is that weapon storage. They just, that's one of the engineering marvels of these Transformers toys, is that there's weapon storage included. That's where I consider something to be a really good Transformer, is if they include places for the weapon to store, so you get this vehicle mode with a hidden weapon inside. And I love that aspect. I absolutely do. It's one of my favorite things about Transformers, next to the transformation part, is the fact that you can hide the weapon inside the vehicle mode. I think that's cool when they do it, and I wish they would do it more often, and it is very annoying that they don't. You could easily turn some of these weapons into some other cool things that would work well with vehicle modes, and it wouldn't take much. We saw that with the crankcase, with using the front bumper and transforming that into a gun. That worked. That was really cool. I appreciate that. 2 thumbs up for that move. But seriously, with this guy, you've had past engineering to work off of. You could have done something with that weapon. So that's the weapon rant, and the weapon rant is over. The other accessory sits nice and pretty on the front as a little light bar. Apparently it's a red and blue light bar, but here in America, we use red and white for emergency vehicles. So it's a police fire truck, I guess? Because somebody said it was blue and red. And I'm like, oh, if it's blue and red, it's a police vehicle. So this puts out criminal fires. It only shows up to arson. It's the police fire truck. Anyway, so this vehicle mode isn't very long. I've got, I actually went out and I found it during the during some moves I've made, reorganizing the workshop and stuff and getting this, get better for viewing pleasure and things like that, I lost the handy dandy Lego pad, but it's back, and I went ahead and tiled everything about it. Isn't it beautiful? It's probably what? Something just literally fell off it. What fell off it? Something fell off it. Anyway, this is I like it. I think it feels nice. It feels really nice. And somewhere on here is a piece that just like randomly fell off. But anyway, so let's bring out this and let's see. Now, originally, I have this little square down here at the bottom to symbolize the 8 wide that the majority of things since Siege have been. They've kind of stuck to that 8 wide aspect. So let's see if this one sticks to the 8 wide aspect. Nope. This one, actually, wait a minute. Boo, boo, boo. Yes, it is 8 wide at the front. Let's double check that. Put the wheels on either side. Yeah, 8 wide. All right, now the back wheels. Are the back wheels 8 wide or are they 10 wide? Oh, the back wheels are, there it is, 9. The back wheels are 9 wide. Not too bad, not too bad at all. Of course, overall, he is, there it is, right there. Oh, it's a point that I made reference to, which I kind of forgot. So let's see, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Right, that's the 16 mark. So it's 16 studs long by 8 studs wide, and height-wise, we got another piece that fell off. There we go. Not the greatest Lego structure in the world. It's 10. There we go. Yep, because it comes right to that stud I put there to symbolize 10. So 10 studs tall at its tallest, and the back area it's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 studs tall at its tail area. Not bad, not bad at all. And I hope you enjoyed the new, Lego handy dandy pad. There we go. Just slide those tiles under there. I'll fix it later. So that's the measurements for this guy. He's not too bad. He's actually pretty cool. Oh, and I have Sonya the cat over here today hanging out with me. She's my elderly cat. She's 14 this year. Yes, you are. Who's a good cat? You're a good cat. All right. Not really much more I got to say about this. We'll go over the sculpt work of it, and I guess just kind of close it out after that. I've got some more stuff I want to talk about, though. So on the front, we've got these bumpers that stick out really far. We've got this tiny, tiny inset vent area for the air intake for the truck. I don't like how far inset that is, like how much of an overlap there is from the windows there. That is a deep overlap. That's at least a stud deep. I don't like that. I think they could have had the part of the transformation, this piece, stick out just a bit more because that's really far inset. On the front, these bumpers do stick out a bit from the front of the vehicle, but I've actually seen fire trucks. Like when I was a kid, my parents worked in the firehouse, so I got to hang out with fire trucks a lot. And there were fire trucks that actually had 3 feet of bumper in front of the vehicle, which was really neat because it gave you a place to sit. It was really cool. Anyway, so that's the front area. The windows feel nice in where they're at. We saw that as his chest. On the sides, we've got these really nice window patterns for the side of the vehicle. We've actually got kind of a door that's been etched out. Like you can imagine, that's a door right there. Yeah, it's nice. I like that. I like that you can do that. It's a pretty good vehicle overall. It's just there's a problem with it. And the problem is that, you get to the back here, you've got these big foot pads just taking up the entire rear section here, which is a weird thing on my that I want to talk about real quick. I don't know why the foot pads are on top. They could have had it where they folded into the underside and made a very smooth, sleek top that you could have had just like a fifth wheel, that little socket to plug trailers in and stuff. But instead, we got whatever this is. And there's this little rectangular pieces in here that are obviously for ports, but nothing plugs into those. So it is, with my understanding, that Maybe I shouldn't have bought this thing. Maybe I should have waited a few years until they came out with the extended leader edition, because they're going to do that. They future proof this thing. The ports here are obviously supposed to plug into something else, and it is a shame that whatever trailer we get with this guy, we're not going to be able to have the trailer move separately from the Optimus Prime. It's going to be locked in completely, and it will be just one solid vehicle mode going all the way back, however far back it goes. But as fire trucks go, I'm very disappointed in this. They could have at least given us a hose. They could have given us something. They could have given us something fire truck related to apply to this guy. And instead, we got an axe that I guess is similar to a fireman's axe, but it's not. And there's a lot about this vehicle mode that is lacking. People praise the robot mode, but I am one of those people that's upset that we get a fire truck without fire truck stuff. It's like driving down to E1 here in Florida and looking at them build fire trucks without the trailer part added on. You just know there's something missing from this, and that's how it feels to me. Is honestly speaking, after going through this entire figure and talking about it, and discussing it, and I think that personally speaking, I do like this figure. I think this figure has some really cool things. We discussed the coolness in the transformation video, my Blindformers episode, where I discussed how it's the merger of Siege Hound and Siege Optimus Prime. They're two separate transformations that seem to combine together to create this. And it is really neat to have a child of those two transformations in my hand. But at the same time, we know they're going to come out with this again. So if you don't absolutely need an animated Optimus Prime for your collection, I suggest you hold off, because this thing's been future proofed for something to be attached to the rear. And you've seen it before with Hasbro. They're not just going to sell you the trailer by itself. They're going to throw this $30 figure in with the trailer to sell it for like $70 or something. So be prepared for that. If you just want the robot, I guess this is good for you. But if you're like me and appreciate vehicle modes, then this isn't really the best for you. It's a nice front of a vehicle, but you can't do anything with it. You can't even plug the trailers in from the previous Optimus Primes. There's just he's just going to look mostly naked, sitting on your shelf in vehicle mode, and that's why I give this vehicle mode a 4 out of 10. I'm gonna be solid with that. It's a 4 out of 10 because it's obvious that we're missing half of this figure at least. Personally speaking, I think we're missing 2/3 of this figure, because there should be a trailer that should be just as long, if not longer, than the Optimus Prime. But that's all I've got to blather on today with you about. Next week, we will be expecting the Techno Viper with HMS system. Yeah, I gotta give it up to CCSs for coming through and helping me out with that. I really appreciate it. That's really awesome of them. So I'm getting it in the mail. I got my shipping confirmation. Really, really awesome. 2 thumbs up to them. That's cool. I really, man, it's awesome whenever that things like that happen. So I appreciate all of you, and this is really one of the few times I'm going to mention CCSs. He doesn't he likes to stay kind of anonymous, and but when somebody gives me a really cool present, I'm going to mention them at least once by a weird name, so that doesn't directly contribute to them if they want to stay anonymous. I did that before whenever I was talking about the vamp, that little piece. That was not that guy's name, but he told me I could use that name so that I could at least say it came from somebody. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching today's video. Tune in next week. We got some cool stuff. Friday, I'm going to be bringing you the next piece in the Lego ideas. I know it's been a few weeks, but this one was a bit tough. I really worked on it. I broke it a few times by accident because it was kind of fragile at some points. Anybody know, when you're building something out of Lego and you're trying to make something really neat and interesting with fragile engineering that comes together solidly, you put a little too much pressure, just a smidge too much pressure, and half your structure will get destroyed. Anyway, I'll talk about that with you on Friday, so please, put it on your calendar. Look forward to that one. We're going to be bringing up the Lego ideas again, and also there's going to be something I'm going to work on and tell you about with the Lego Ideas project that I will be changing because, been reading the rules and regulations of Lego Ideas, so a little thing has got to change here and there. But thank you all so much for watching. Tune into my channel, blind_prime, for full in-depth reviews from a blind person's perspective. This is including, but not limited to, Transformers. Until next Prime, me and Sonya say, have a great day.